All right, viewers, welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Bihar's Madhubani. In a few moments, he will be delivering his first public address following the Pahalgam terror attack, which has claimed the lives of 26 innocent people and has left many injured. Adit Kothari, who is a former foreign affairs expert, joining me live on the broadcast. Now, as in fact we are just moments from now waiting for the first address by Prime Minister Narendra Modi after this tragedy, this tragic and horrific terrorist attack has happened. The nation is in fact eyeing on the immediate measures that India will be now taking against Pakistan, as there are in fact the initial steps which have been taken, Atari border being sealed, the Indus Water Treaty being suspended and many others to show the stand as clear as it can. What is India also now in a position to do next as far as these measures committing a stringent stronghold of response against Pakistan is concerned?
So is that question to me?
Yes, Mr. Kothari.
So I think firstly we need to review the Indus Water Treaty in its entirety. You know, when in 1960 when India had signed this treaty, you know, we gave away the lion's share of the water to Pakistan, essentially trading water for peace. I mean, that was the whole narrative, that, you know, we will give you water, but, you know, do not disturb us. Let us grow as an economy, as a country. Let us progress, and, you know, you be happy with water, and you to progress alongside. We continue to hold up our end of the bargain, while Pakistan sort of, you know, year on year continue to renege on their side of the bargain, where, you know, we were giving them water and they were basically extracting blood as well. The treaty in itself remains one of the most generous treaties ever in the history of all countries, where lion's share of the water, which is almost 80% of the water coming out of the Indus basin, basically goes to Pakistan. And, you know, whenever we've tried to put up any sort of hydropower plants, or, you know, without the reservoirs, where we can just extract a bit of electricity for our northern states, you know, Pakistan has always internationalized the issue, taken us to the international court, etc., etc. So, you know, it was very difficult. It was getting very difficult from a treaty perspective. And last year, I think it was last year when the government has basically said to them that, you know, we need to re-review this particular treaty because it's a bit lopsided, and we need to progress as well. From a Pakistani side of things, you know, they always played it strategically because they've always wanted to ensure that the northern states, particularly Jammu Kashmir, doesn't get that sort of development, doesn't get that water, doesn't get that hydroelectricity, so that they can progress. Because if they remain economically poor, you know, they can continue to wage that sort of jihadic warfare and, you know, the asymmetrical warfare with India. So now with the suspension of this particular Indus Water Treaty, I think you know, India has played its card really well. You know, it's almost like a bloodless war, where, you know, India will be able to extract its objective, which is peace, to buy out peace. So hopefully, you know, the Indus Water Treaty suspension and eventually the termination of it, you know, will get us exactly what we want and hit Pakistan where it really hurts them the most, especially during the sowing season, where, you know, they will be crying out for blood, and the population of Punjab particularly will be up in arms against the polity and the army. And that is what we truly desire.
Yes, of course, Mr. Kothari, as in fact many Pakistani nationals have been seen this morning within the 48-hour deadline that has been given by the Indian government to leave India, and they have been seen reaching at the Atari Wagah border. You know, what is the right next step is what in fact many are thinking of it to be, because at this point of time, there is one clear concise that there has to be a complete retaliation. Given the history of how India has retaliated even in the past, there are expectations which are higher, and also of the understanding that India has never been in the first boldly attack to these kind of acts of terrorism. But now is the time when 26 innocent lives are lost, and each of them in fact were targeted specifically for being Indian and then being a Hindu. How do you react to this entire rhetoric, and specifically given the fact of how India should go ahead with establishing a clear, concise on its stand?
So rhetorics aside, I think India needs to play it very pragmatically. I think we need to extract our pound of flesh, and we can only do that with equated amount of reciprocity. So if they sever one head of ours, we go for five of theirs, and that's the way we should be playing it. When I talk about asymmetrical warfare, India's never done what Pakistan does to us, which is bleed India with 1,000 cuts. They have their proxies all over India, and they hurt us with terrorism whenever they want to. So whether it be Bombay, whether it be Calcutta, Delhi, Bombay, Hyderabad, it has Pakistani footprints all over. But India's never done that vis-a-vis Pakistan. So I think the time has come where the niceties and the political correctness needs to be kicked into the dustbin. We need to start looking at prospects of disintegrating Pakistan, severing Balochistan, supporting the Baloch tribal leaders and the Baloch independent fighters. And we need to start doing the same with the KPK and the Pakistani occupied Jammu Kashmir region as well, because there is a lot of dissatisfaction with regards to the Pakistani regime, the Pakistani establishment, which is basically it runs like the East India Company, where the Pakistani army is the company. It does everything like how a business company would be running, where it sort of prioritizes its own interests rather than that of the people. So at this point, we have a lot of levers, we have a lot of leverages that we can hedge, and we can hurt Pakistan where it hurts them the most. Starting with Pakistan occupied Jammu Kashmir, I think that should be one on the radar. The one thing that I'm still not convinced with is taking the land back, because with the land you get a hostile population as well. How do you sort of neutralize that hostile population is something that we've not strategized, not thought about. Maybe we need a bit more clarity from the government on that particular perspective. Thanks.
All right, Adit Kothari, sir, thank you very much.